Good evening, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Cambodia Global Dialogue of Southeast Asia TV. Tonight we have the pleasure to have a Cambodian compatriot who is quite knowledgeable in the Cambodian economic, trade, diplomacy, international relation, and I'm just happy that he's now coming back to Cambodia, and I managed to get him to come over and have some dialogue with me a bit on the perspective of Cambodia for the last 20-some years, you know, and also perhaps looking a bit to the future, how we see the economic development in this country. So it's Lapu Someth, Someth. So Lapu, welcome to the show.
Thank you
But
very much.
Before I give you the floor, let me just say that Mr. Someth is quite a person well known here. He used to carry many hats. He used to be the, you know, with ADB for so many years, and then he opened the first Asian Development Bank resident mission in Cambodia in the early 90s. Then after that, when he retired from ADB, he went to serve the Cambodian government pro bono as an ambassador, Cambodian ambassador to the WTO in Geneva. Now he's retired, so we have plenty of time. So we have to catch him and get him to contribute once again to the Cambodia country. Anyway, Lapu, welcome. You know, and I'm glad you're here. And we're going to have an interesting discussion, perhaps going back a little bit on memory lane. So anyway, maybe you should say something to the audience. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Siphana. It's nice to be here and back to the country. I was abroad, not necessarily by intention, but it's a matter of work requirement.
Yes.
But now, since my retirement, I try as much as possible to be back here and share my experience, whatever I know, to the younger generation.
Yeah, but you left Cambodia when in university?
In the early years, I left Cambodia in 1970.
1970,
July.
yeah. And you went to study?
And then no, I went to straight from the National Bank of Cambodia
Okay.
to join the Asian Development Bank. And since there, I was moving around Asia all the time.
For how many years were you with the Asian Development Bank?
Around 27 years.
So you've been where? In Nepal?
I've
everywhere,
been in Nepal, South Pacific, and all the Asian country in the region.
I see.
Yeah.
And then
including many missions to Europe and sometimes to Africa, also all over the world.
But you know, in the post-war, you came back what, 91 or 93?
91.
91.
Yeah.
I see.
91 more on a personal visit.
Yes, yes.
And that was quite an arrangement to be able to come in.
Yes.
To Cambodia.
Yes.
However, the official mission was in 1993.
Yes.
When the Asian Development Bank was the first to try to come in initially before anyone else.
I see.
In fact, when I came in a year or two later, then it was the Asian Development Bank who lead the international financial organization institution.
I see.
To try to provide assistance to Cambodia.
I see.
And I must say that under my leadership or arrangement at that time, Cambodia received the first credit from the Asian Development to the extent of $67 million to rehabilitate infrastructure.
Yes.
I think that was really the tip to get everything moving.
The ice breaking.
Ice breaking, exactly.
Because now the Asian Development Bank, for the next 3 years, they have $500 million in the pipeline.
Yeah.
You know, so yes, do credit to you for opening the overture, you know, of the Asian Development Bank to Cambodia. But you know, you also, after you retired, you did help the Cambodian government as ambassador for a while, and that's when we were working together. I was in Cambodia, you were in Geneva, and
very much.
How many years you served as ambassador?
Over 3 years.
Over 3 years.
Yes,
until Cambodia entered.
Until Cambodia enter the WTO. And I think the last day of my act was to sign that agreement.
Yes.
That Cambodia has fulfilled all the requirements.
Yes.
And we get into WTO.
I think on this one, both of us are very proud. We have some very fond memory of.
Definitely.
It wasn't easy. It was quite a difficult undertaking, but we did get Cambodia in the WTO, and we should be proud, because if you look back, you know, 6-7 years later, look at the status, the state of the Cambodian economy, this economic liberalization, this trade liberalization, we're doing fine. But after that, you retired, right?
Yes.
You went to play golf, you know.
Golf on the world is still high.
Traveling around the world. But then, why are you back in Cambodia now?
Well, I have been selected to be the project management advisor to the Ministry of Commerce.
I see.
At the Directorate of International Trade.
Ah, interesting. Good. Well, I mean, it's good that you come and, you know, partake your experience in Cambodia. But I hope that, you know, you could also, you know, contribute in other way. You know, in particularly to me, I think a person with your experience, with your wisdom, you know, knowledge, I think it's important that we share, you know, that to the next generation. That's probably the focus of my discussion with you today.
Sure.
It's more about the future, you know, about this country, you know, 3-4 years down the road, we'll be a member of ASEAN Economic Community. The world is not, I would say economically, is not an easy moment now.
Absolutely.
How do you see the prospect, you know, on the deepening the development process of this country, you know, and what will be the driver of change?
First of all, let me pay respect to the Someth, the Prime Minister, who have a good vision of the development of Cambodia.
Yes.
I also subscribe to all those points.
Yes.
And just to recall, many years ago, before I left for Geneva to take the ambassadorship, I left a message to the Council of Ministers.
Yes.
In that speech, I left some sort of vision in the future. And one of the vision that I have at that time, and still subscribe to it, Cambodia is an agrarian country.
Yes.
Where 87% or more than 80% of our population are at the farm.
Yes.
I think if we concentrate and we talk about it, and the international organization talk about it, including NGO and so on, poverty alleviation, and Cambodia subscribe to that policy as the prime objective of the country.
Yes.
Now in order to achieve that, to me, there's nothing to look further except how to make the farmers and the public in that category becoming income sustainability.
I see.
Yeah. Well, how's the strategy of doing that? Well, of course, infrastructure. And what is the most important in infrastructure for the farmer is canal, water canal. And
irrigation.
Water, irrigation. And that I subscribe to that view for many, many years since I come to this country. I remember at one time, the Prime Minister provided me with a helicopter to see the area that was flooded. And I flew over highway number 1. Coming back, I report to Someth, the Prime Minister, that, you know, what I have seen is that in one part of the highway, along the highway, one part is dry, and the rice is probably scorched by the sun, and the other part is flooded. That is not imaginable. That it should be that way. So the strategy is to build canal for irrigation purpose. And I think if we can do that in a more efficient way, and I think it will help a lot, the cultivation of rice not only one time a year, as we in a lot of instances, in a lot of area, that has been doing the same way traditionally for many, many years, as we know. And it could be 2 times, 3 times in like a country, our neighboring countries.
You know, I think your perspective in those days has been translated, and I'm proud to say that the government now, the Ministry of Women, Water, Resource, the Ministry of Agriculture, and many donors are now working on what we call a strategy for agriculture and water. They have their roadmap. They're working on a roadmap. But what is interesting, what you said, is that strategy is supporting a much larger agrarian policy, which is the rice export, rice paddy production and rice export policy.
Absolutely.
That like Prime Minister has launched last year. And so yes, I think you should be happy that some of this idea has come to fruition in that one. So we're quite optimistic. In a few months we should be finishing the review of the policy on the rice export policy, where we are, because the aim is to get 1 million tons in 2015. But you talk about water, you talk about agriculture. To me, I think these are the physical structure, but the people, I think, is important.
I think it is. Absolutely, you touched the right point.
Yes.
What I was going to say also, in attachment to that idea, is that in agriculture, looking at the society we are in, I think I strongly recommend that the ministry concerned increase the number of extension workers.
Yes.
The most important, in many countries in Asia, they do have extension workers, but in a large part, not very successful.
Yes, because?
Because the extension workers are not really committed, even providing some of the tools that they have to work with.
Yes.
They are very few. They are not well compensated by their effort.
Yes.
But I think we have to look at these weaknesses and make them work for the interest of the country and the interest for the individual farmer.
Extension service, we talk a lot in the strategic review on the rice policy. And one of the few ideas that come up, and I probably one of the fervent supporter, is that nowadays with IT, with technology, with TV, with this outreach, we should have, and I know when I went to the Philippines, the Ministry of Agriculture Philippines, they have video clip. How to plow, how to put fertilizer, how to harvest, how to do water management. 2-3 minute spot in national TV, because Cambodia everywhere now have access to TV. And to me, it's a sort of supplementing the extension service. It's clear that we need a very, very strong capacity building. But here again, straight to the grassroots.
Straight to the grassroots.
Yes.
I remember, in the old days when we were young, when I was young, not you yet. There was an American short film regarding hygiene, regarding disease and so on, and the USIS at the time go into different places in the village and projection this film. That, I think, is still valid if we do have such thing. Because it's attract the people to see the film.
Exactly.
And of course, the IT is there right now. We have television and so on. But when the people look at the television,
it's different.
Different. They don't have the feeling as
this movie, this open air movie. That's not a bad idea.
And the children, the younger kids also said, "Oh, let's get together and see the movie." With some
this is a great idea.
With some comedies as introduction, and then get focused on that one. I think if we can develop that.
I think I'm going to take that idea and we're going to push to see, with the rice committee, because see now the committee on economic and financial policy, led by Excellency, Deputy Prime Minister Kitchon. He's driving this task force review, right?
Yeah.
So this is one idea I think we should push.
Good.
But I want to touch on more on the role. So you have the agriculture, which is the sector.
Yeah.
You have this water. You have the extension service. But I think we are missing the meso level, which is the SME, which is the youth that are working in the SME. In your years of traveling around the world, could you share some of this experience in particularly countries who are, like Cambodia, devastated by war, have to restart from scratch, and in no time they're able to to really reclaim their space in the world in terms of economic development, production, everything.
Yeah. Yes, Pana. This is a very point that probably we can talk and talk and talk. And as we said, every policy could be in place.
Yes.
It depends on how the people get involved
Yes.
and drive that policy,
Yes.
implement that policy. In the case of this situation, Cambodia's youth increase every year. The number of graduates increase every year in the number of thousands.
Yes. Yes.
You want to make a point?
I'm just saying that every day we have about 600 to 700 kids entering the workforce. That's all I'm saying.
The point is that how do we absorb this?
Yes.
If looking back into the situation after the Second World War, Korean War, and so on, this country like Germany, like Japan, like Korea, you look at the film, you look at the history, they're all devastated by war.
Yes.
How did they come out to be one of the top industrialized countries?
Yes. How?
They start first with a small and medium scale industry.
Interesting. So it's not the big, massive
not the
industrial
big, massive.
Samsung, whatever.
No, because in those days, it's not the development of the IT yet.
Yes, yes.
You remember, right?
Okay, yes, yes.
And so
you're right.
they're all at our stage now.
Yes, yes.
They're all at our stage now.
Yes.
And the difficulty that we have now, not difficulty, but the situation that we are facing now, if you have big company, like XYZ company, what they come in here, they could invest millions of dollars. And they use high tech.
Yes.
So what the level of employment there, or the number of people that get employed there?
You're right.
They're not too many.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So because it's all motorized, all with all the gadget that do the automation.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So we should very much encourage the small and medium enterprise that can use a lot of labor force.
Yes, yes.
And then, in order to do that, we have the primary responsibility to train our youth in that direction.
Yes.
To me personally, I see that many parents here in Cambodia is pushing their children to the extreme, learning on how to get into the baccalaureate.
Yes.
But once you get the baccalaureate, you are getting into the labor force.
Yes. Baccalaureate, you mean here the 4-year degree or?
4-year degree.
Yes,
four-year degree.
The bachelor.
Yeah.
Bachelor program.
Yes. Yes. So once they get that into the labor force, they get out.
Yes.
What expertise do they have?
Nothing.
Right. Exactly. So even though they said, oh, hey, I get my bachelor degree, and so on.
Yeah.
But if you go to have this young graduate to work, it get to be trained into the special field.
Yes.
Why not
train them right away?
Train them right away and get into different things.
Yes.
And this is what an element essential that we can get the small or medium scale industry to come, including even the big scale industry.
Is that right?
Yeah. Because they can come and they can, I see this morning in the studio, all these young.
Yes, very impressive.
Impressive of their qualification. I have to learn from them probably. I cannot learn.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. They are so much in their expertise. Yeah.
So the role of vocational training is extremely very important.
It's very important. In fact, to sort of shed light into some area like in France.
Yeah.
But France is very difficult for them to make modification. People, the students are somewhat attached to the traditional thing.
Yes, yes.
Particularly the baccalaureate.
Yes, yes.
So even if the present government want to change that, we have to change. They in fact moving a little bit from their traditional thing. For example, in getting into learning English in school.
In France. Oh my God.
Yeah, yes. They introduced that. Second thing, they said, oh, why not?
You know, 10 years ago was not possible.
You
cannot learn English.
You can't even talk about it.
Yes, yes, it's taboo. Yes.
Yeah, it's taboo. And then, second thing is that they said, why not vocational education? Because baccalaureate is nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
In my generation, baccalaureate, I can be a teacher.
Yes.
Yeah, and maybe head teacher by now.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And so now we have to look into the curriculum of our education system.
Curriculum, yes.
For me, I think this really need to be sort of review, revisited. Revisiting our curriculum, present curriculum.
The premise.
Yeah.
In the context of a changing, dynamic, evolving economic
absolutely.
Sector there.
Yeah. You see, back again to Germany, Japan, Korea, they come up.
Yes.
But in the context of the economic development and the complexity of economic development now, we have this IT, and that's why we have to look at our workforce that correspond to that. Every 24 hours that we miss, even we miss a lot.
Yes, indeed. Indeed.
Just like prior to my appointment as ambassador to WTO, I was interviewed by Cambodian Daily to mention.
Yes, yes.
I said, you know, if you don't join WTO, because there's some people who said, why join WTO?
Why join WTO,
right?
Yeah.
I said, you look at the situation whereby there is a marathon.
Yes.
Everybody run for 42 kilometers.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And if you go there and watch, what do you achieve after you see the runner pass?
Yes.
Nothing.
Nothing.
If you join that and you run, you'll be the last one.
Yes.
You run 42 kilometers anyhow.
Yeah.
And that's what it counts.
Yeah. It doesn't matter because you're in there.
You're in there.
And once you're in there, that's it. That's how you take the benefit of it.
Right.
So I would say that, the wisdom you have is quite clear. I'm also a fervent believer of the role of SME also, because in the context of this recent financial crisis, it is very much the strong, dynamic, small entrepreneur of Cambodia who are able to keep the economy going.
Yeah.
So the resilience post financial crisis is very much the state of our Cambodian SME.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I want to stress is that our SME now, and it's always linked to this education system. I think the Cambodian parent have this very deep tradition in believing in education, and you see over Phnom Penh you have so many different private schools at different level. They're always sending their kids somewhere to study.
Absolutely,
right?
probably too much too.
Yes, too much too. And then now you see a sort of like gradual taking over of this SME business.
Yes,
and that's why I see now a sort of a shift a bit to the next level of, I wouldn't say sophisticated SME yet, but is a transition from the old mom and pop type of SME to a much more sort of like a little bit more theoretical SME.
Yes.
And this is where I see the hope.
Right.
We're coming to the end of the program. I want your last word. What do you have to say to the Cambodian kids?
I think study hard and look into where you have to go.
Yes.
And get a job with the expertise that you will study.
Yes.
Not necessarily to the liberal art things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Liberal art, you mean lawyer, economist, accountant, management, right?
Yeah. It counts. It has to have some of this part of the participation of this expertise.
Yes.
But get into the real thing in life.
Yes.
Because I think when we are moving into the direction of the IT
Yes.
world,
Yes.
every day, again emphasizing, every day we miss that opportunity, we
Yes.
miss a lot.
Yes.
We are staying behind. So in a marathon, try to be
Get
among
in the
the top,
Yes.
among the top.
But you got to start somewhere, though.
Yeah.
Yes. Good. Well, Lepu, thank you so much for coming. And if I can summarize, perhaps it wouldn't do you justice, but I'll try anyway. The message is that yes, the rural agriculture is important in the context of this evolving economy because we are an agrarian society. Yes, the role of water irrigation is important, but it's also the soft level, the meso level, which is the SME, the rural SME, an SME that is sort of like having technical people to actually, contribute to that. The youth don't get too sort of like excited to get into liberal art.
Right.
Think more into the vocational side. Think more into the technical. That's where the employee are.
Yes.
So I'm fair.
You fair.
All
you
right.
fair.
Well, anyway, so I have to say thank you to you, and I hope you stay in Cambodia. You will help go to lecture in different university or something. At least share your experience, and
Yes.
It's important for the next generation that they can tap expertise, your expertise, my expertise. I lecture all the time. It's sort of like part of my sort of like social responsibility.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
yes.
let me just say thank you, and I hope to see you in some other time in other more interesting topic.
Yeah. I thank you for the opportunity of sharing with you the discussion.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to the end, and it's too bad that we have to cut it short because I surely don't want to lose the opportunity to tap the wisdom of somebody like Mr. Someth, who have tremendous experience, knowledge of our culture, our reality, economic situation, and I hope to invite him some other time on other interesting topic as relate to the development of our nation, of our country. So good night.